Okay, guys, it is that time. This is Rick Patterson, also known as the Handyman Business Coach. And wow, you can hear the Christmas music already, can't you? I keep that Christmas music in my office at all times because it makes me happy, right? You got to do those things that make you happy. So I'm going to be making some adjustments here and there throughout this video just to make sure that everything is good and it's copacetic. You like that word, copacetic? All right. So this is a debut for me, and I wanted to make sure that you get a recording of this for the first time. I'm speaking to two audiences, so I'm doing a dual. Let's just be real. I'm doing a dual simulcast. I don't know, simulcast. That probably is the same word, right? So I'm on Facebook here, and then I'm on Facebook here. Everything's backwards. Facebook here and YouTube here. Okay. So this way you can catch both. And I'm so glad that you made it. I hope your day was delicious. All right. So let's jump right into this. I'm going to introduce what the Handyman Business Rescue is all about. About 3 months ago, I was experimenting with some ideas of what I could do. I put up a video, I threw it together. Just wanted to see what kind of response. And out this one video that I did called the Handyman Business Rescue, which you've seen it both on Facebook and here on my channel called the Handyman Business Coach, I literally put it up and I got 4.7 thousand, okay, 4,700 video views just from that little 57-second commercial, right? So I used it as a trailer. It didn't have any words, just slid some information across, and that was about it. Didn't say when I was going to post it or anything. I got to looking at it just recently, and I saw the overwhelming response. And so I decided, hey, maybe this is something that folks are really wanting. So let me tell you what it is and then what it's not. All right. So this is going to be a weekly response. I'm going to scour through all of the of my own Facebook groups that I have, and I'm going to look through those that I'm a member of. Okay. So probably right now about a dozen Facebook groups that have to do with home services. Okay. Hey, Keith, good to see you. Ed, glad you're here. So if you're on Facebook, you can find me directly here. And then if you're on YouTube, you want to slip over there, that's fine. You can find me at just simply do your search in the search engine at the top on YouTube. Just put in the Handyman Business Coach and you'll find me there. Okay. So let's get back to this. What this is and what this is not. This is a weekly show. And so I've scoured through questions that other people in the home service industry have put up on those Facebook groups. And I wanted to make sure that I got to each one of these questions. They weren't necessarily directed at me, so just in all transparency, but I do want to take this opportunity to answer those people live and on Facebook and on YouTube. All right. So what this is not, okay, this is not a place that I'm going to answer questions of, how much do I charge to paint a 12 by 12 room? Okay. Those questions are directed in those Facebook groups. But because I have the title, okay, of the Handyman Business Coach, then I'm only going to talk about business principles and business things. So I found some questions that related to business. So let's just jump right in. I will call out the first name, and some of you that are on here already, it will be a surprise to you because I have some of your questions. Okay. So Zach, he says, all right, y'all, I got a question. So I'm a local handyman in the West Plains, Missouri area, and I just recently had cards made, and I put the word independent contractor on there. And am I allowed to do that without a business license? And am I a contractor I use a contract to do the work that I do. In my head, it's common sense that I've had people tell me that it's not. Okay, so let's just clarify a couple of things. You can call yourself whatever you want to call yourself. You can call yourself the president if you want to. Okay, but that doesn't make you the president. All right. I tell all the guys in my business who come to work for me, and I own Pretty Handy Guys. You can look us up, prettyhandyguys.com. I give the opportunity for everyone in my business to come on board with me with two things. They have to have two items before they even get trained. All right. So one is a business license. Guys, like it or not, and there are some of us who have for years, have operated under the table, side hustle, whatever like that. Okay. But society nowadays is demanding, now, not necessarily just the government, I understand that, but society, homeowners are demanding that we step up. Okay. That they are. And so in my business model, what I use is what I do B2B. All right. There's B2B, B2C, and so on. Okay. But that means simply that means business to business. All right. Now, I do not have any personal, I don't have any employees. Okay. Hey, Ryan. All right. So I don't have any employees. Hey, Kevin. So what I do is everybody that comes on, I insist, or they have to have a business license. Now, where do you get a business license? Well, there's two ways of doing it. One, if you live inside of a city limits, you have to get your city, you have to get your license from the city, all right, because they claim jurisdiction that you're working out of your home and going that route, okay? So the other is at the county, and if you're in Louisiana, of course, it would be parish. So if you live outside the city limits, inside the county, then you get a business license in the county. Now, guys, I live in Georgia, and there's a lot of good old boys here. Nothing wrong with that, and I'm not bashing that at all. I only use that term as endearment. Okay, so I have a lot of good old boys in government places. All right. They don't understand the jurisdiction of how states work. And if it's any different from yours, I doubt it. That one county, if you give a license there, it's understood that it's honored in other counties across the state. Now, that's within the state. All right. What you can't do legally, and then when I say, and I'm talking above board, you can't have a license in one state and then go across and work in the other without reporting that. You have to report it. You have to get an out-of-state business license, all right? And I do have some men that live in, let's say, the neighboring states. I live like just a few miles from Alabama, and then, of course, the 5 states around us, and they are allowed to work inside my state, but they have to apply for an out-of-state business license, all right? So we make them get a license. So again, in one state and it's understood, and guys, literally, I've had to get on the phone and kind of straighten out some tax assessors because they didn't understand, and especially the person answering the phone or that gives out the license that signs off, they just don't get it. They don't understand. So I've had to patiently, get on the phone, talk with a tax assessor or the person that managed that department for the business license and say, no, nobody has to get a license in your county and then go and get another business license in another county or so on. No, it's understood among counties. It's a gentleman's agreement. Okay. It's a gentleman's agreement that this is what you do. You honor each other's part. So, hey, Rico and Rodney and Dale, good to see you. JJ, all right. So with that being said, the second thing that I ask my guys, and I say ask, I'm being nice, they have to have $1 million worth of general liability. Now, I've got a question about that, so I'll come back to that. or I'll go to that in a little bit. I'm not going to touch too much on this right now, but those are the two criteria. So Zach says here is that because he calls himself a contractor and he writes contracts, isn't he an independent contractor? Yeah, but you're not a legit business. Okay. You have to have a legitimate business license to do business in your city and in your state. Otherwise, yes, you can do it without, but good luck with that. Just read an article a couple of weeks ago that North Carolina had a sting. Get this, a sting in Raleigh and Durham, and they had, oh my gosh, they had 300 handymen put in jail and fined because they were operating without a license. Okay. So can you do it? Yeah. Can you jump off a building? Yeah. But I don't think that you're going to survive if you jump off the Empire State Building. I don't think you will. All right. Can you operate in the state or anywhere without a license? Yeah, you can, but I don't think it's going to go well with you. All right. So I'm trying to save you all that. Okay. You don't want the humiliation of going to jail. You don't want the trouble of that because you're going to lose money. Right. Why not just step up and say, hey, I'm a businessman first who happens to be a handyman. You with me? So there's the key. If you want to write that down, I am a businessman first who happens to do whatever, electrician, electrical, plumbing, you name it. Okay. So let's get that kind of rooted in our psyche. All right. So maybe that helps you, Zach. And, so when you write on your cards, you can put independent contractor. You can put handyman. That's okay. Everybody understands. And this is what I'm doing in, as far as I'm concerned, in the handyman industry, is I'm raising the level. I'm raising the bar for us. Okay. Why not? Somebody's got to do it. All right. Somebody. And I don't think that I'm the only one. And matter of fact, I know I'm not the only one. There are other influencers, both on Facebook, on YouTube, and other places that they are raising the bar. And it's about time that we do this. And we took pride in being handyman business owners. Wouldn't you agree? Put a 1 in the comment if that's what you agree to. All right. I literally, guys, and this is not a rant, but I take so much pride in who I am as far as a handyman. People ask me, what do you do for a living? And I say, I'm a handyman business owner. Okay. Last year, literally, we hired over 100 guys last year, just since April. And we hire and fire the masses. We're looking for excellence. Okay. We train our guys, we put them through, but if they don't want to learn from us, they need to go learn from somebody else. So I'm okay about letting folks go. All right. And with that being said, is that we all have to take ownership of our own company or our own business and say to ourselves, I am a business owner who happens to be a handyman. Okay. So I'm starting to change my own lingo as well. Okay. Let's go to the next question. Philip says, I'm losing business from actual qualified good customers because I can't keep up and stay on top of estimates, consults, and follow-ups. I know it's not an excuse, but we have just had a baby Saturday, and we've had complications and a ton of going on in our personal life that has hindered the business growth. Anybody got any words of wisdom on how to juggle it all? Feeling a little bit undervalued at the point. Well, Philip, I understand. Okay, I am totally with you. Guys, I raised 7 kids, all right, as a handyman. Okay. So I was working by myself for the majority of that time. My business, I started out in 1998. Okay. And I started out knocking doors. I had mouths to feed. I didn't need warm and fuzzies. I didn't need people to say, yeah, I'll give you a call. I need somebody to say, you in my house now. Okay. Get your tool bag. Let's go. And the second door I knocked on, I had that. I was blessed. And there was a time in my first 2 years that I woke up one morning thinking, thank God I've got so much work. I had 6 months of work promised out. 6 months. Okay. Well, that's not braggadocious. It's just saying that I had to hustle just like you are. you guys are out there hitting the pavement and slinging a hammer and slinging paint and all that other. And I am so proud of you and thank you for taking pride in who you are and what you do. Okay. So, Kevin, I agree with you. Kevin says that in response here, you need a trustworthy manager that works closely with you and your guys. Okay. Well, I agree with you. Okay. I agree with you too. And that's what I've done in my business. Actually, I don't go out and sling a hammer anymore. I haven't done that in years. But what I do is I have like managers in place. I have admin people that answer my phones. I have a sales manager that does all the tracking and making sure our deals are going through and getting approved. I even have a recruiting manager. Okay. And I'm even soliciting right now, interviewing some people to handle all my marketing. Okay. So the idea here is that when you are feeling overwhelmed, you've got to have a system or even a better system. And even to paramount that is to have a successful system in place. Okay. So let me ask you this for some of you guys that are in the business and it's just you. Okay. It's just you working out of your truck. All right. Here's the question. What plans have you made? Okay. What plans have you made in case you get hurt? Okay. Does your income stop? Have you thought past your nose? Okay. Let me tell you a story. On that day that I was saying I was so grateful that I had all this work, I was working on a roof. Okay. Now I was trained in the Air Force and as a carpenter, became a master carpenter there. And then the last duty I had, I was sergeant in charge of 1.8 million square feet of roofing. Okay. So I knew roofing very, very well. I worked crews. Okay. I was supervisor over these crews. And so when I got out, I did some roofing, but a while I got tired of doing only roofing. Okay. So I started expanding and working on my carpentry and painting and tiling and other skills like that, drywall and on the list goes on. So that morning, when I was saying I was so grateful for all this work, a thought came to me. All right. You ever had this moments? Okay. Where it's like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be on a roof today. What happens if I fall off that roof? Because it just takes that long, doesn't it? It's not the fall that I'm afraid of. It's that sudden bounce, that first bounce off the ground, right? That's what I'm afraid of. All right. The fall is like, it happens before you know it. But when you hit that ground, hopefully you bounce a couple of times. All right. I was always afraid of falling in the bushes and getting gorged, with stuff. Anyway, so I thought to myself, oh my gosh, I've got all these children to support. What's going to happen to me right now if, today, if I fall off that ladder, if I fall off that roof, I'm in trouble. It doesn't matter how many jobs I got promised out. What am I going to do? So what I did was I thought to myself, okay, well, the only way to do this, I got to duplicate me. You with me? I have to duplicate me. Because if I fall off, I get hurt, then somebody else, the other me, can get up there and finish out all the jobs for me. And I didn't know how to do that. So what I did in my own journey, and I'll be sharing this later on, I don't want to go into it, but I began a journey that took me about 2 years, 1.5 years, okay, to complete. All right. And I'll tell you more about that later on. And matter of fact, if you're on YouTube, you can, after this video, you can go to my story. I'll also share that link here in Facebook. Okay. Is that fair? All right. So hopefully that answers your question or part of it. Okay. Now, what I teach in the Handyman Business Coach, by the way, if you're on Facebook and you haven't done it yet, I want to invite you to be a part of my Facebook group, which is called the Handyman Business. Okay. Simply click on one of the links. If you click on my cover page, you'll see it'll take you right to the link, and then you just click the link and go to the Handyman Business. That's what it's called, the Handyman Business, and be a part of that group. Okay. Again, guys, we don't talk about, what should I charge and, those kind of, what's the best tool to use? That's apprenticeship level, and there's nothing wrong with that. We all started there, okay? But this is for a more advanced group. So if you've been in the business for over a year or more, then you're welcome to be a part of that. We talk about journeyman and master level of business talk, okay? Good. Hey, Kevin and Pedro, good to see you guys. All right, so let's move on to the next question. I'm going to try to keep these as short as I can, anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes. And so we're going to move through these quickly, okay? Clayton says, hey, guys, I've been quoting general liability insurance, and I've gotten such a wide range of prices. The lowest so far is about $7,000 a year with a local company, and the highest is $2,900 a year. Why is there such a huge difference? And the one that's $2,900 is from Hiscox, Hiscox, and the other and it's only for $300,000 in general liability. And the one that is, and the local one here is for $2 million in general liability. Okay, so guys, first off, a disclaimer: I am not a insurance guy. All right, I can only tell you from mine. I used to go with Hiscox, okay, Hiscox, and at the time they had the best deal. Okay, I was paying around $149 and promoting that to my guys. Okay, and that's for $1 million coverage with $2 million aggregate. All right, so I was promoting this, telling my guys, hey, go to here's the link. Here's the link. I wasn't getting a kickback, and I didn't want one, and that wasn't what I was doing. I was doing that to help my guys out. So what I did though is one of my guys says, "Oh, I got that beat, Rick. I've got this company, and I'm getting it for $67 a month." I said, "What?" So he gave me the link. I went to it. I looked at it. I searched it. Everything. Okay. Is this? It was 2 months down, okay, first and last month down, it's a down payment, and $60 a month. Whoa. It was $38 a month, okay? I'm going to tell you this. You can go to it. I'm not an affiliate. I've tried to be an affiliate. They said, no, we're doing pretty good now, and so we don't want any affiliate programs. So I'm like, okay, I'm still going to send it to you. So I pay $38 a month for a handyman general liability with $1 million coverage and then $2 million aggregate. Okay. And I paid 2 times 38. So that's $76 down, literally, guys. Now, why is it so cheap? Because if you go to this company, it's called Next Insurance. Next Insurance. All right. Nextinsurance.com. If you go to Next Insurance, when you fill in the information to get a quote, there is no human involved. It's all AI. Okay, so there is no middleman. If you understand the principle of a down payment, that's the commission for the middleman. Okay, if you go to an insurance person and say, "Hey, I want a quote," they say this much down and this much a month. Well, that down payment is their commission on it, and then they get a kickback per month that you're in. Right? Okay. So, but with this, it's so low because there is no human involved. Now, are there humans behind the company and with the company? Absolutely. So before you start barking at me and saying, well, I don't know about that. Okay. All right. Good. That's everybody's got their own opinion, right? But for me and my guys, we've gone with them. Now, we've had, in the last 4 months, I've had 2 claims, and they were Johnny on the spot. I sent my documentation. I sent the prices. I sent all this stuff, even sent in my invoices and receipts and whatever. They paid us right then and there. I mean, the check was in the mail that day. All right. So I'm telling you, if you're not happy with your insurance, why not look, somewhere else and go to Next Insurance. Okay. So guys, this is all the time that we have for today. I try to keep it between 20 and 30 minutes. I will be going live next week on Wednesday at 6 o'clock. So I would love for you to join us. If you're a member here on my Facebook, you're part of my Facebook friend group, please do two things. Hey, Scott. Do two things. All right. One is go ahead and after this is over, the live event, go ahead and let's see if I can get the words right. Like, okay, but more than like, don't do that. Please don't do that. All right. That's what I call a drive-by shooting. Okay. It doesn't resonate very well with the Facebook algorithm. Do this. Give me a heart, give me a happy face or a wow. Okay. That means more on the algorithm, and that makes my ratings go up for what I'm doing. And I appreciate that. Okay. That's just your way of showing that. So if you give a heart, I'd really appreciate that. Second is comment. I want to hear what your questions are, because I will have this list ready for next week, and I'll be glad to share that with you and give you some good answers. All right. I might even just go ahead and take some time this week and answer your questions right away. All right. Get them to you faster, so you don't have to wait a week. All right. Second thing is, share this with your friends about this, because I feel that this is very unique. I don't see what I'm doing in any other platform. I could be just blind, but if you know it is going on, please do share it. Okay, share it with me. Let me know. And then because I'm always a guest on other people's shows and podcasts and so on, and I've got what I call some huge influencers coming and being part of my collaboration as well. Same thing goes for you guys on YouTube. Now, guys, for those of you that are on Facebook, please go to YouTube. There is a link, and there will be a link in this one. There's also a link in my page. Please subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to raise this up to 1,000. Okay. Once I get 1,000 subscribers, as you know, then I can do a lot more things inside this group, and it will be funded by advertisers. So I'm asking you to help me out on Facebook. I'm sorry, on YouTube. Okay, on both, really. So if you'll do that, please subscribe, like, and comment. I will address this. I talk to everybody. And you can see the chatter that's been going on here in Facebook. The same thing is going to happen in YouTube, even as we grow much bigger. And this helps fund what I'm going to do and plan for this channel on YouTube, and of course, all my friends here on Facebook. Thank you so much. I appreciate both of y'all for being here, and I'll see you next time. As always, be kind, be safe, and be the very best version of you. See you next time, guys. Bye-bye.